Hi, everybody. Welcome to August 2023 Healthy Tips for Tails. And we are in the middle of a giant heat wave, not necessarily here on the coast in Northern California, although it is warm this afternoon, but inland California and over half of the United States, Europe, Asia, Africa, huge heat domes. Unrelenting heat, so that July of 2023 has been the hottest recorded temperatures in recorded history. The water, the ocean water in Florida is over 100 degrees. They read it as 101 degrees. I couldn't believe it. Plus the fires that are burning in Canada, in Washington and Oregon, in Europe, in Africa, all over. And all of this increases the heat that's already around us. At the same time, the summer is the fire element in Chinese medicine. The fire element is the heart and small intestine. It's the pericardium, or theology calls it the heart mediator, and the triple heater. And we know that the triple heater from past episodes regulates the water along with the kidney and the lung. It regulates the hormones along with the liver and the kidney and the spleen, and it regulates the internal temperature along with the yin and just the blood flowing in the body. So the fire element being present here, which is normal, is interacting with this increased heat that is global. And we're having some issues. So knowing that it's not just the physical, it's also the emotional, mental, and spiritual that's going on at the same time. And the heart's job is to keep our emotions in equanimity. It's to calm us down. The heart is about joy and connection, socialization and connection. And it's about being able to flow, go with the flow. That's the best way. The heart in Chinese medicine is seen as the look in the eyes. It's called the Shen, or the spirit, as in the eyes. And it's the expression. And that expression, as a veterinarian, I'm always conscious of, because an animal can come to me with tail wagging, or, going like this and everything's fine. But if the look in the eye tells me that there's distrust, that they're on caution, I'm very careful. And you as animal people are also careful with that. So we're looking right now at the heat wave that's magnifying a lot of the emotional and physical things that are occurring in our bodies. And I've been getting calls from clients about anxiety, heat, like overheating, and digestive issues. So I got a call from one of our group, whose animals I'm seeing, and standard poodles. And this poodle is a very outgoing, extroverted, great guy. And she called because he is panting really badly and his heart rate is very high. He's thirsty. He's laying in the house. Now, at the same time, not only due to the heat, but as all of us are coming out of the pandemic, especially here in Northern California, we're going out into society and being social again. What that means is that we're not spending all of our time in the house with our animals. So the animals are starting to feel more alone and possibly more vulnerable. It's certainly a change. And my client, who's in North Carolina, cannot take her animals out because it's hot and it's humid. So the animal is spending more time in the house with another dog who they're friends with, but it's not the same. At the same time, my client, who knows that her dog runs hot, has had her animal on a fish-based diet. This in Chinese food therapy cools the body. Well, he wasn't doing so well on this particular diet. So my client changed the diet and changed the food to a wonderful combination that's organic and freeze-dried raw and very dense and very excellent in all of the things it can nourish. Only it's got a lot of meats that can heat. So we invited the dog to the session with both of us, looking at him. And I was concerned about a cardiomyopathy because big poodles can get heart attacks, cardiomyopathy. But the more we looked and felt with the dog's presence, we realized that it was coming from the stomach. And that the stomach interaction with the increased heat from the food was creating the discomfort, the potential for bloat, and the tremendous stomach pain that kept him in kind of a crouch or down on the floor, thirsty, and heart rate up and respiration up. So we started to move things with Qigong, with energy, with acupressure at large intestine points, with acupressure along the conception vessels. One of the best points is the heartburn point, which is also the heart alarm point, conception vessel 14. It's at the base of the sternum, and it's called the heartburn point. So it's a cross between the heart and the stomach. We used kidney points, we used heart points, pericardium points. We also talked about aloe vera. Aloe vera is one of the best fractionated aloe, which is taken from the aloe vera plant, and the bitterness and the taste is taken out. Also, the gel that's part of decreasing constipation is taken out, so that it's not only for balancing the digestive tract, but it's for cooling the stomach and cooling the liver. So we talked about that, and the remedy that we focused on was phosphorus. Phosphorus is a polypressed remedy, meaning that it affects all of the organs in the body. The great homeopath Vitolkis described phosphorus as infusion, that it's like an effervescent drink, like bubbles in champagne, effervescence. So the individual who's a really good phosphorus fit is that individual who's extroverted, who's magnanimous, who everybody wants to be around, and who wants to be around everybody. She wants to be around everyone, and there's no boundary. Phosphorus is excellent as a heart remedy, a lung remedy, a stomach remedy, a liver remedy, a diarrhea remedy. So it encompasses in Chinese medicine the wood, the liver, the heart, the fire, and the spleen, the worry. So what we're looking at is we're looking at a remedy that will address all of this. I was introduced very recently to the work of a neuroscientist called Stephen Porges. And he's a neuroscientist who's a professor at Chapel Hill University in North Carolina. And his work revolves around the polyvagal theory. What that is, it's around the vagus nerve, one of the cranial nerves that has branches that feed the throat, that feed the chest, the lungs, the heart, the stomach, the colon, and it's its own polyvalent remedy in not only acupuncture, but in Chinese medicine, but also in homeopathy. So phosphorus to me is a polyvagal remedy. And I was so thrilled to see that neuroscience is catching up to Chinese medicine, because Chinese medicine has talked about the interaction with body, mind, spirit for thousands of years. So in addition to the phosphorus and the aloe, we of course are changing the diet for this dog. And I'm happy to say that at last speaking, he was doing better. I'd like to talk about the crossover of some herbs between the liver or the wood. And when that's out of balance, you get irritation, irritability, anger. The heart, where you can get, it's a sadness, it's a hurriedness, it's an impatience. It's anything but joy. And the spleen, or the stomach, the earth element. And that has to do with, when it's out of balance, worry and anxiety. So we have the wood, the fire, the earth. And this, in addition to the external heat, will give us severe digestive issues and anxiety and mental discomfort, spiritual discomfort. The three ones that I'd just like to mention is chamomile, that we've talked about every single time almost. And chamomile is Chamomile metricaria. I always get that last part confused. And it is a section goes to the brain to calm. Part of it is a bitter, which helps release bile from the liver. And it's cooling. It's a cooling astringent that helps in the stomach. So it goes over the wood, the fire, the earth, the liver, the heart, the stomach. The next one is lavender. Lavender is, again, helpful for the mind, body, spirit. It takes headaches away. It's either cooling or warming, depending on who you are and what you need. And lavender moves things. So lavender helps with the liver, moving things through, calming the heart as well as the mind. And also it's in the herb combination Herbes de Provence, which is the French herb that helps with digestion. The last one is aloe, the fractionated aloe. And this aloe, as I mentioned, doesn't have the taste or the purging that the actual aloe plant or the gel has. The one I happen to use is George's fractionated aloe. I'm sure there are many out there. So those are the three. To end this, what I'd like to talk about is I'd like to talk about the sounds to help the liver and the heart, the wood and the fire, because that will help with cooling, whether it's happening outside or inside. So the sound that's attached to the liver is sh, spelled S-H. In the previous video that I just did, you couldn't hear that sound. I don't know if it'll take this time around either, but it's shh. So we do it with a movement. And the movement is lifting your hands, going up. You see the hands are clasped. And moving, opening the right side of the ribs. The sound is shh. So again, I don't know if you'll hear this on the recording. I'll write it in the notes that go along with this. The other sound for the heart. Now the heart is on the left side, as you know, in the chest. So we're going to be opening the left side of the body. And we're going to do this using the diamond mudra, thumbs and forefingers together, going up over the head. And going over, and the sound is ha. 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 So again, I don't know if you heard this on the recording. The sound is ha, and the ha is like ha 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 ha, like the sound of laughter. Now you do these exercises and sounds in the presence of your animal. This will help you calm down, which in turn helps them calm down. Even the polyvagal theory talks about the individual feeling safe, and the safe or safety that they feel is from your being, your expression, the sound of your voice, not only your words. If you want to do a direct exercise with your animals, I'm getting my handy dandy friends here, Bob and Albert. So this is the right side to open the liver. You want to stretch the rib cage behind the shoulder blades in front of the hip girdle, and just a very light stretch, very mild. And you think, shh. If you want to stretch the heart, again, this is the left side. Ha. And then our very alert Bob will start to look like wiggly Albert, who's very, very happy, and he can be joy, joy, and joy. Okay, guys, see you next time.